Hey, Ghost, what's up? Oh, man. Make sure it's not underneath my nose. Thanks. Happy Friday to you, too, man. All right. So I believe we should have the new pack. Let me see. Oh, here it is. All right, we got 2 new places to clean up. Oh, wait. Oops. I gotta set this. There we go. Spray paint sim? I'm doing the opposite. I'm doing the cleaning sim. Oh, God, we gotta clean this whole thing. If you want, you get Left 4 Dead 2 right now. I think it's like $2. And that's Left 4 Dead 2, the good one. Hey, man, go for it. Everybody's got their hobby. I just went on Etsy.com and I found a mini arcade cabinet for $35, just the shell, which is perfect because I already have the monitor and the board and everything to put in there. I just got to get it in there. And they already shipped it, so it's going to be here on either Monday and Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that. The version without the monitor and the buttons because I already have those and I already have a CPU to put in there also. So I have a Raspberry Pi Zero 2 and that'll be awesome. So if I can get that running, we're good to go. Prices are going up everywhere, man. You know, it's just the way it is right now. Yeah, charge what they charge is all I can tell you. Come on, get up there. Oh, speaking of hobbies, I don't know if you know, but I made a playlist recently. It should be public, so you can just listen to whatever you want. It's a 90s gamer mix. This is basically all the stuff from 90s gaming culture. A lot of it's metal. It's basically a mix of post-grunge, death metal, and dark techno. So if you want to listen to it, by all means, go ahead. It's public. There'll be some ads in there, obviously. Yeah, there'll be some ads in there, obviously, because some of it's copyrighted, but hey, you know. if you get an ad block on your laptop, you don't have to deal with that. Which the FBI recommends now. They recommend you get an ad block. So, there's a legal reason why you should get it. Well, they started recommending it because of the honey situation that happened earlier this year, like, that everybody called them out on. It's definitely more of a YouTube problem and some websites problems. Like, when the FBI says you need an ad block, it's like, okay, yeah. It's not so much scams, like, you just so much as, like, if you so much as even look at an ad sometimes, they could take your information. It sucks. You know. I don't give a fuck either way. Like, if they want to see me jerking off the porn, go ahead. Look at your search history. I don't give a shit. You shit. Yeah, a friend of mine online, they listened to that playlist and went, holy shit. It was the first song by White Zombie, and they didn't know they were that heavy. I was like, oh yeah, they were heavy. Yeah, it is what it is, man. What I always find funny is how some people, like, think they have to speak up on games, like putting elements in them they don't like or prices they don't like. And I'm looking at them like, guys, it's consumer goods. If you don't want to buy it, you don't have to. Yeah, it was so fun when I showed that friend of mine that playlist. They were like, gaming was that hardcore? I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, it was. Then they responded with, they tried to get a comeback. Why is there no gangster rap in there? Because gangster rap only popular for 2 years, and that was it. It blew up when Dr. Dre's The Chronic came out, and then it died when Tupac Shakur did. Plus, that was more of a pop culture phenomenon than a gaming thing. It wasn't on the market long enough for gaming to take advantage of it. It wasn't until, I'd say, when the acts from later on, then it started to get popular with it, especially in the 2000s. even got some friends of mine who loved Bungie, and now they're like, we don't know what to do. Bungie's gonna go under, and I was like, okay. What's the point? You know what you do? You wait for the developers to leave. Let them start up a new studio, usually an indie one, and they start making games you like again. Problem solved. You know what? I agree with that, especially nowadays. People are freaking out about video games too nowadays, and I'm like, dude, I got bad grades in school. Okay, they took the console away, put it in the closet, you get it back when your grades go back up. Okay. I get my grades back up, I get the console back. Done. Same with the PC. No PC games until you get your grades back up. Okay. Grades are back up. Can I get the PC back? Sure. Deal's a deal. If you're going to play this game, by the way, get this nozzle. It's the last one you beat. There you go. There's another way to think about it. So we're freaking about, like, why are these companies taking advantage of us? What do we do to them? You were being stupid. That's what you're doing. You're going on social media saying you'll buy their shit no matter what. What happens? They rip you off. Maybe if you didn't say anything, they wouldn't do nothing. You think that would be the ultimate line, but not anymore. You think it would be. People find other ways to cheat the system. Like, I was homeless at one point. I had to live on welfare. That sucked. Part of the problem is people like to put their problems on other people, like, you know, why won't the government fix these things? Well, because they're not supposed to fix everything. You still got to put the fucking work in. Yeah, it's not so much that, it's also disability. That's the bigger one. Welfare, as you can get welfare no problem. Welfare is easy to get. Or at least it was. I don't know about now, but yeah, welfare is pretty easy. These guys say you need help. That's it. You know, you get help. That's all welfare is really there for. You know, it's not meant to be forever. Also, some people, like when the welfare runs out in one state, just go to another state and get the welfare there, you know. You know, it's disability. That's where it gets bad. Like, people will lie about that. Like, that's when it turns into illegal shit. That's where it's bad. Welfare is not a big deal. You can't get busted on that so easily. Well, see, you have a legit reason to be on that. There's people who don't. Like, there's people who go to shitty doctors and say, oh, my back hurts. I can't work ever again. You know, and they do that for at least a few years, and then finally they get investigated and audited. All of a sudden, like, they're running a half a mile. They're running like a 3-mile run, and it's like, oh, your back hurts and you're doing that shit? People who really hurts are the people who really need disability and they can't get it because they can't get enough proof, or they have a condition that they really have to go like years to doctors, stuff like that, waste money on it, try to, you know, get proof of it. Hopefully they get a good enough lawyer to, like, you know, get qualified for it, and then if they're lucky, they'll get it. Whereas people who just say, my back hurts, they have a shitty doctor, and then that's it. Boom, they get it. And they get it in record time, because apparently back injuries, I think that are the number one way to get disability, as far as I know. Either that, or you have to be paralyzed. It's, you know, it's sad. They got certain rules and laws in place for a reason, but, you know, then they got those loopholes that, you know, they can't exactly patch out. You know, it's tough. And then you got people who can't stand to work. It's like, I don't want to work. It sucks. Well, you know what? I come from an old saying. Learn to love your job. Oh, in this game, there's no level up mechanic. You just unlock stuff and then you keep playing. I don't blame me for asking. So there's no level up mechanic. It's just that's where I'm at, like 197 stars, 190 stars. But that's because of all the work I've done. Yeah, that one's done. Get along, yeah. Now we gotta do this one. It's like right now, some of the best games on the market are just like, you know, they're indie games. Probably missed the other one. You know what? I'll be honest with you. Like I like to clean stuff sometimes. To be fair, don't ask me why. It's like one of the things that, like, you know, if I see something a little dirty, I'll be like, I can clean it up real quick. I got time. It's like, you know, like I like watching restoration AMSR sometimes. That helps me relax. Like that might not do it for you, but it does it for me. No, not really OCD. OCD means everything has to be perfect. That's OCD. You know, like if I had OCD, this room would look like a perfect match, and I'd be doing nothing but cleaning it all day. That's OCD. Like if you want to see a true case of OCD, look up Mark Summers. And that's the funniest thing ever, because he was on a show called Double Dare, which was one of the messiest shows in history. And I guess he did it because he really needed the job. People found out the guy's like really OCD. Like everything has to look perfect. If there's even a thread on a rug that looks off, he has to fix it. I like my arcade cabinets in the back there. If I had OCD, I would make those things look perfect. But I don't, because I don't need them to look perfect. I like them the way they are. I think I've had another person call me OCD once, and I was like, no. But you clean, and I was like, yeah. It's called being an adult. You learn to clean your own shit. Ain't got to be perfect, just get it nice and clean. But yeah. And he used to host a show called Double Dare. That's the funny part. Which is one of the messiest shows in history. Get out of here. Same with Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel's got OCD. He finds ways to get it under control, but like, yeah, I mean, it happens. Like, those guys are OCD. I'll give that up any day of the week. I feel sorry for him. Yep. I've seen that. I've seen that. And the same thing with live streaming. People wonder why I live stream. I'm like, because I like it. I like having fun. You know, sometimes I don't do it for a long time because I got other shit going on. Or I'm falling asleep a lot, or I'm tired. You know, and it sucks. It really does. Yep. Yeah. That's OCD for you. Usually narcissists have like the worst kind of OCD. Those are the worst ones. Yeah, people ask me like, why do you stream? What's the point? Like, you're trying to be the next like so and so, or they made like what was it, like a then maybe the next ninja, or like the next Kai Snetter. Or like, no, I just do this for fun. I don't even like those streamers. Well, I watch Valkyrie, to be honest with you. You know, and the reason why is because like that's the kind of streaming I like. You just chill, just have fun, be a little goofy, no big deal. Like that's the kind of streaming I enjoy. Like I've never watched a Ninja stream. I've never watched an XQC stream. I've never watched the Kai Cenat stream. I've never watched any of them. Why? Because I think they're fucking boring in my opinion, but they're just not fun. If anything, they're just annoying. I got that. If that don't work, you get them to the complete idiot's guide. That's the updated version. I remember one time they had sex for dummies. That was the funniest thing. First off, it was a pocket edition, so you could take it with you. Number two, it was more than one page, which shocked the hell out of me. This one, yeah, you can pick them up and throw them. I know what you're talking about. You're good. You're good. Yeah, right now I'm debating on getting the Switch 2 or not. I'm debating it. I feel the same way about that thing that I do feel about, like, you know, like Doom the Dark Ages. It's just like... I leave it. Yeah, I left the door open. Ah, that's cool, man. Alright, what did I miss? I missed... Where are those at? Might be this side. That's not that one. Ah, got that one. Well, what's going to happen is I'm probably going to buy it, and then I'll probably stream that day unboxing it, if I get it. Like, I don't want to grab it to see if Nintendo is sticking to their word saying there'll be plenty at launch. What was that again? Under Windows. Which one did I get? Miss. Ah, there it is. Oops. Ah. Got that. Yeah, June 5th. And the thing is, there's a Walmart down the street from where I live, so I can just run over there and grab it like first thing in the morning. Missing one? June 5th is the date. Like, I'm wondering if I'm going to get lucky and just manage to get it. As Nintendo promised to be plenty at launch. There we go. Ah, that one. Oh, yeah. But Walmart's aware, so they're going to be keep an eye out for that. Any questions? Ah, that one. Ceiling vents, which one? That one. Door interlock. So I think this is A train. Oh, this is A. Whoops. So it's on B. Got that. Rear lights. There we go. There we got it all done. Sculpture Park. Let me tell you a funny story about console launches. So I worked GameStop back in the 2000s. This is the funniest story ever. So when the Wii dropped, it sold out like crazy. Well, Nintendo purposely did not beef up production. They didn't do that for at least a year until they had to deal with a lawsuit, and then eventually they beefed it up. But yeah, people would come to the store thinking, oh, then maybe they'll have some available. And my manager, he would walk out and be like, we ain't got shit. You're going to have to call Nintendo. This is their problem, not ours. At one point, they would call the store all the fucking time, do the same thing over and over again. Hi, do you have any Wii's? No, we do not. Did you check in the back? You check in the back, we ain't got it. It got to the point where we would just like put them on hold. Hi, do you have any Wii's? No, we do not. Check in the back? Hold on. We ain't got them. Are you sure you checked? Man, I checked the roof. We ain't got nothing. Goodbye. At one point, we'll just hang up on them. Hi, do you have any Wii's? No, we do not. Could you check in the back? Hold on. Click. Hi, what can I get you? It was that bad. And it wasn't just me doing that either. Everybody was doing that. We didn't have them. What are we going to do? It's bad customer service. Hey, make them call Best Buy and waste their fucking time. We ain't got them. It took until summer 2009 where finally they had like a wall of them available. That was and that was at Best Buy. It took that long. You know, I think they had them available holiday 2008. I think they were a little short-staffed, but by summer 2009 they had plenty of them. So just put this. Same with this. Get it out of the way. Yeah, the funny thing was with the PS3 drop, we had plenty of those. Those were not selling. The people who bought them were the same old homeboys that suckered into the PS2. PS2 was a great console, but you know they bought it because it was PlayStation, and then they tried to buy the PS3. Well, the thing was, there were barely any PS3s available. The ones that weren't selling. They really weren't. It was the best Blu-ray player on the market. It was the only Blu-ray player on the market. All the other ones got packed up. You sure? Yes. Also, the other manufacturer making Blu-ray players at launch, they were pissed that Sony had told them to sell it at $1,000, and then Sony gets out with there at $600, or at least $500. And they were pissed. They almost got sued for that, almost. Because they were trying to make it seem like the PS3 was a good deal, which at the time, it looked like it was. But the reality was, Sony told manufacturers of the Blu-ray players to basically, just upcharge the hell out of them. And then all of a sudden, oh, wait, they can't do that. Same with the Dreamcast. I found this out recently, too. I had to look into this. So the Dreamcast failed in Japan, but I looked up why. NEC that was making the chips for it, they had a hard time producing them. They fell behind. I looked into why. This is a rumor. Turns out Sony, what I heard, called them up and told them, don't make any chips for that console. We'll make up the cost to you. And I was like, that makes some sense, because all of a sudden it's coming out in the US, people get excited for it, and then they greenlit the PS2 before there was even a PS2 design. Like, they really wanted to beat that console, from what I heard. Yeah, that's true, though. That's no bullshit. Sony wanted to beat the Dreamcast. They didn't want to deal with Sega, even though Sega didn't give a fuck about Sony. My brother was talking to me about streaming, and he's like, why don't you just do this one computer and that's it? And I'm like, because there's so many times I've had the computer crash because of a game or an emulator or something, and I don't want to put up with it no more. So I got two computers. Now, the thing is, I originally didn't want to spend that much, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I should get a MacBook. That way, it's guaranteed to keep working. And that ended up being a great investment because this MacBook has been holding up very well. I'm still learning Mac OS to a certain extent, but it's really nice to just turn something on and just go. So that's why Macs sell as well as they do. Well, at least they used to. I don't know about now. Now, what's funny is, what was it, Wednesday, when my new headset was showing up, I had a dream where I was on a new setup, and I had that one HyperX microphone they had. I had that. And then I had an iMac, not the MacBook. I had an iMac right here, and that was my streaming PC, and I had my gaming PC down below. I think I had 2 monitors here, and then the MacBook there. And someone asked me in chat in that dream, how many computers do you have? And I said, well, if you count all the other ones I have here, about 8. 8 or 9. But they're all mini PCs, though. They're not really big ones all that much. But the mini PCs are the ones I look into now because they're dirt cheap and you can get a lot out of them. And I got nothing against HyperX. I know they're a good brand. I just stick with Logitech because I'm happy with Logitech right now. I mean, right now Logitech makes my favorite keyboard and my favorite mouse right now, which I'm happy with. Yes, I've tried the high-end ones. I hated all of them. Like, I really don't see the point, especially with the way I play. Like, I play just fine. My brother, he's got the really expensive keyboard. He's got like the $200 keyboards, and I'm like, what do you need that for? You know, he tries to bullshit me on it a little bit, and I'm like, you don't need that. Eventually came down to, well, it's my personal preference. Okay, fair enough. Oh yeah, I watch them all the time. If there's some like mini PC or emulator based, I do watch him. Because he gives a pretty good reviews and advice about stuff. Like I remember, like I bought the Ryzen 5800 H I got, which has Vega 8 graphics, which no one likes. But he was all like, dude, I'm running games 1080p, no problem with that shit. Might be Vega 8, but you can still do a lot with it. You know, same with those older Lake CPUs. Like, I bought one of those PCs. He showed Gran Turismo 4 1080p running full speed, no problem on that thing. And I was like, that's impressive. That's kind of what I look forward to nowadays. Like, I don't care about like AAA graphics. I care about what are you going to do with less power. You know, we're getting to a point where like we're hearing at Intel, we're hearing that 4900 is really good. That's still a good CPU, as long as it still gets support, which it should. But yeah, what we're hearing at Intel right now, there's a rumor right now that NVIDIA and some of the manufacturers are going to get away from hardware GPUs. They're going to start making software GPUs. Now, what that basically means, if it sounds stupid or crazy, they do exist. The most common one is Englide. That's the most common one. It runs 3DFX graphics. Well, thanks to super simple technology like DLSS or FSR or XeSS, which is Intel's version of that, they're learning how to get more performance out of that with less power. And learning to do that with just CPUs, like, believe it or not, like My CPU supports XeSS because it's an Intel CPU. And like when I played Fortnite, when I first played with DLSS, I didn't like it. It had a halo effect around everything, and that kind of sucked. You're Ryzen, so yours should have FSR. The question is whether a game actually supports it. It should have. Let me check. I know the. Oh, 13900. So the 4800H, let me look that up. Oh, you have Intel? Okay. Let me see here. It's got deep learning boost. It should have XeSS on it. You got Iris graphics, so that supports it. Iris is pretty damn good. Iris is pretty damn good for graphics. Yeah, it should have XeSS in it. And what you could do with that is that if you want to run a game with the NVIDIA GPU, if it has XeSS built into its sampler or upscaler, you could turn that on and your CPU will just do all the upscaling. And your GPU will just do its thing. Like, it saves a lot on power. And it looks sharp. Like, when I ran Fortnite with that, like, you could not tell the difference between that and native resolution. You really could not tell the difference. And the game just ran smoother. It ran colder. Which is what I want. I live in Arizona, so it's hot as hell out here. But that's why I bought this new headset mic, because I'm sick and tired of, like, you know, trying to fix the sound, because the problem with the sound here is that, like, I have an AC unit in this room and I need it because it's so hot out here and these PCs get hot. So I try to find ways to get the temperature down, bring the same quality up. But the AC unit's loud, and that's part of the problem. So, you know, I gotta find a way to stop the mic picking that up so much. My MV7, which I love my MV7, I just wish I had a quieter room. Maybe someday, though. Like, maybe someday I'll let you go. I got another year on this lease. Oops. And I expect to be at this apartment for almost 7 years now. I didn't expect to be here for this long. But, you know, it's worked out. It's been okay. For times where it's a bit of a challenge, and, you know, it worked out. I'm hoping that, like, when things finally, like, clear up, when that'll be, I don't know, I can finally, like, go get my own place. Because I've had my own place before, and that was really nice. Especially now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, anywhere where I can get some peace and quiet, it'd be great. And it's quiet here, to be fair. It's really quiet, so I don't have any issues here. You know, just sort of like, you know, I want my own place type of thing. You know what I mean? But, you know, I got to work with what I have. Like, it's one thing to be with family, nothing against that, you know, hey. But, you know, there's a time where you got to get out, on your own, you know what I mean? You got to just, and I've done it before. I lived on my own before, so it's not that big of a problem. Just trying to get back to that right now is really, really hard. You know? It's always funny people think about like, oh, they're suppressing us, for the government stuff, and it's like, they're not suppressing you people, they're suppressing the younger people who just want to get a fucking job and get their life started. That's what's suppressing. And they don't know what to fucking do because the old people are fighting like crazy over shit they don't even need. Well, if you do get this game, by the way, this DLC is free. It's called the Muckingham files. This is the 6th one that comes out. These are free. The game you still got about, I think it goes for like $25. That guy's full of shit. Like, even Arnold Schwarzenegger, even he got help when he needed it. He's if you look up on YouTube, there's a short of him talking about everybody needs help. Like, there's no such thing as a self-made man or a self-made person. And he mentions all the people that helped him and how he's thankful for it. You know, say what you want about Arnold, you know, but, you know, people love him for a reason. what's funny about Arnold Schwarzenegger and why that makes sense, that a lot of the baby boomer generation, they were fans of guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They were fans of guys like John Wayne. They were fans of Sylvester Stallone. They were fans of all of those guys. And the thing is, yeah, they're old now. In fact, some of them are still alive. Kind of a shock, but even they go up and say, yeah, you can't do everything on your own. You need people to help you sometimes. Well, you see, the problem is, like, take my uncle, for example, okay? I will never do my uncle ever again. But the problem is that, like, they come from a generation where there was no internet. There was no cable TV. Information was hard to come by. And you had to do everything by hand. Okay? And the thing is, they went through the biggest growth of their generation ever. The problem is there was a lot of shady shit going on they don't want to talk about. They just want to act like, oh, that's the way the world is, when it's not anymore. And a lot of the shit they thought worked doesn't work anymore because there was a lot of loose ends. There was a lot of ways out of it. And the thing is, a lot of those ways don't work no more. Why? Because they were scams to begin with in certain ways. Did they profit off of it? Sure. Do I condemn them for it? It's not my place to say. But a lot of stuff disappears because of that stuff. So all of a sudden now we have a whole different market we got to worry about. I mean, like, even like the whole thing with P. Diddy going on right now, him in court. They had an audio file that came out. It was some famous rapper right now. Forgot the guy's name. He was literally getting buck fucked by P. Diddy, and he had to do it if he wanted to become successful in the industry. It's shit like that. And that's been going on for a very long time. That's not the first time it's happened. It's going on for a long time. Well, some of these old people, they had to do shit like that to get where they wanted to be. They just don't talk about it. And then they grow up all messed up because they did a lot of shit back in the day. And they probably thought, oh, they'd be dead by now, which sometimes doesn't happen. But also, another thing I remember is that, like, when people do a lot of messed up stuff, they're afraid to die. Because they fear they'll go to hell. And it's like, all right, well, when you do fucked up shit and you don't make up for it, yeah, you probably are going to go to hell for what you did. There's a lot of that stuff, and it's sad. It's not because, I want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. Maybe when I was younger, I probably did. But now that I'm older, I'm like, no, I don't need that. I don't want that. It's like when you tell kids that some of these influencers who drive Lamborghinis and shit, they're like, I want to drive one of those. And I'm like, no, you fucking don't. They're fun for a weekend, but that's it. Like my uncle, for example, he was like, I moved into his house, and the thing is, I don't plan to be there for any more than maybe a few weeks, or maybe at least a few months. I just want to get back on my feet, that's it. But he's sitting there trying to sweet talk me up to, like, going to Hawaii, having a BMW, all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't need any of that shit. I just need to get back on my feet. After that, I'll make my own decisions. If I want to go to Hawaii, I'll go on my terms. I sure as hell don't want a BMW. My brother had one of those, and oh my God, they're a nightmare to fix. And the truth is, when you think about it, it's like, do you really need something like that? 9 out of 10 times, you're just going to be no. You don't need it. You don't need something like that. In fact, I found this out. You know who Miley Cyrus is, right? You probably do, because she's how famous she still is today. Okay, so she does not live life of luxury at all. She really does not. She lives normal. Like, she has an apartment, not high-end, just normal. She has a car that's used. And all of her furniture is secondhand in her place. Okay, so where's her money? Well, her money goes to helping other people, helping homeless, helping people get back on their feet. She doesn't like living life of luxury. She likes to live normal. That I respect. Especially after the shit that happened in 2013. When she went from that to where she is today, I'm like, you know what? She gets my respect. I might not be a fan of her music, but hey, you know, it's... I respect people for being people. And the thing is, like people say being rich, you want to be rich, right? No, you don't. One, they'll tax the shit out of you. But two, like, it's just not worth it because the money means nothing at the end of the day. Sure, you need money to buy stuff. You need money to pay bills, but you don't need that much. Especially when you live right. Like, if you think I want a mansion with like 3 floors and shit, hell no. I'm happy with just a nice house. 2 floors is enough for me, shit. And I want a nice house in a nice cold climate, like further up north. I'd rather live up there. Not that far up north, but you know what I mean. You know, the thing is, like, people ask me if I'm rich. I'm like, I'm not rich. If I'm rich, I'm rich in a different way. Let's move this over here because I don't know right now. Now, at the end of the day, it's people that matter the most. When you help people out, you're rich in a whole different way. Because the thing is, like, when you help out other people, you get shit for free. I've gotten 2 free cars in my life. I'm on the second one right now. First was given to my mom. The second one I got from an inheritance from my dad. Neither one of them is a luxury sedan. I never want one of those, but Jesus, I love driving them. Especially the car my dad had. That car is really nice. Yeah, it's used. Who gives a shit? It still runs great. It's good on gas, gets around. I'm happy. It's got satellite navigation, so I don't get lost. Even though I got a phone for that, so it doesn't matter. Like, even when I had like the money to build myself a PC, like about a year and a half ago, I had a lot of money. I still got a lot of money right now. I'm not rich, but I got a lot of money. I could have built the most epic rig you could have thought of. I didn't do it. You know why? Because I didn't need it. So I looked at like, what am I going to be playing? I'm not going to be playing the most AAA over-the-top shit. Hell, that stuff's not even worth buying anymore. So what I'm going to do is going to build a decent rig. I just want a rig that's reliable, and so far this one's reliable. I've had issues with it from time to time because I'm screwing around with stuff, but hey, it still works. You know, there's no RGB in it. I don't give a fuck about that stuff. I think it's stupid. You know, it's not water cooled. It doesn't need to be. I got an AC unit in the room. What do I need a water cooler for? To this day, I still get people who tell me you should get the most out of that rig with the money you spent on it. Number one, I didn't spend that much. And number two, I don't need to get the most out of it because I'm using it the way you're supposed to use it. Why would you use DLSS or any other stuff? Because, you know what? I want it to run cold. Should you have high frame rates? No, I don't want them. They don't do shit. They might be good in one scenario, the one I never use. The same thing is people say, don't you want to win? I don't give a fuck about winning. I've gotten my wins. I've earned my stripes. I'm good. I don't need any more of it. I tried out for esports. You know what? That esports is like one of the most messed up, like, probably sports out there. Like, there's so little regulation, it's not even funny. Like, they care more about foul language than actually like regulating the shit. I remember people tried to esports with Among Us. I was like, that's not an esports game. The only skill you learn from that is how to bullshit. That's it. But esports is on its way out anyway. Some people are still supporting it, but like it's on its way out. The cracks are starting to show. There's too many cheaters showing up. Companies can't keep up with it. It's the same old thing. And we're going to enter another dark age of gaming soon. And part of it is due to the economy. Another part of it is they're going to start getting out of gaming soon, so it's going to drop by a margin. Like, even the stuff that's available now, like, what I hear, NVIDIA's not going to make any more GPUs after this launch. That's it. Because even the 5000 series GPUs are not even coded properly. There's not even proper drivers for them. Which is why I'm not buying them. But then it's also like, you know, people can't do proper math or proper information about how this stuff works anymore. So it's a laundry list of stuff that's wrong. I mean, look what I'm doing right now. I'm cleaning shit. That's actually fun. Why is that? Because I'm not dealing with random assholes online. I'm missing something on this. I know I am. Not everything that I get at all. Ah, got it. That should be all of it. Even Gen Z, I feel bad for Gen Z. I really do. Because I want to see Gen Z, finally get the help they need, which is hard. Really, it's just education. That's all they need. They're not even getting that. I'm not Gen Z, but I deal with some of the same problems sometimes. And my brother, for example, I love my brother. I do. But there's times where, I want to do something. He's like, no, you don't understand how to do it. And then I understand how to do it. And also he's like, well, how'd you figure that out? And I was like, I learned. Like, what do you think I did? And just stared at it? No, I learned how to do it. The arcade cabinets, I learned how to make those. Are they the best ever? No. Am I happy with them? Yes. Hey, man, I'm glad you agree, man. At least you agree on something. Like, I'm probably doing the one thing that most people ain't doing, listening to people. What's the problem? Oh, it's this, this, and this. Okay, let's figure out how to fix it. And for example, like at work, we got... There's some good people I work with out there. Some people, like... I don't see eye to eye with too much. But we got a lot of PlayStation fans at work, too, at Intel. And, you know, it's obvious. Console's still popular, so on and so forth. They talk about Mark Cerny saved the brand. I was like, Mark Cerny's not a hardware designer at all. Are you sure? He's not. He's a great software designer. I'll give him that, but he's not a good hardware designer. Ken Kutaragi was a good hardware designer. That guy was phenomenal. Only problem was he kept making stuff that was not finished. And that was Sony's fault. They kept pushing stuff out the door when it wasn't ready. Like, prove it. How can you tell he's not a good hardware designer? Okay. First and foremost, look at both the PS4 and the Xbox One. And then look at the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. What do you notice? A lot of similarities, huh? Hardware designers don't copy other hardware designs. They just do their own thing, be happy, that's it. They don't care what the competition does. I remember when Mark Cerny mentioned like teraflops. No joke. When I started Intel 6 years ago, they had to look that up. What the fuck is a teraflop? And these are hardware and software designers. Turns out what a teraflop actually is just a simple measurement of the performance of a GPU. That is it. Nothing else. It means nothing else. And yeah, Mark Cerny talks about, oh yeah, this is important. No, it ain't. Doesn't mention the CPU, doesn't mention the RAM, doesn't mention the speed of everything, doesn't mention anything. Like, that's how you know he's not a hardware designer. He talks about shit no one knows about and uses that to say, oh, I'm smart. He might be smart about other stuff. But he ain't no hardware designer. No fucking way. He's a scam on that one. Plus, I know why Sony hired him. They hired him because Ken Kutaragi got pissed off at the fact that Sony kept modifying the designs to be closer to the competition. Basically. Well, Mark Zuckerberg is kind of smart, to be fair. Not likable, but he is smart. Yeah, Mark Cerny, though, he's just... Like, Sony hired him because he'll do what they say. That's it. When it was Ken Kutaragi who made PlayStations 1, 2, and 3, and the PSP, he always did something different. You know, in fact, he retired after the PS3. In interviews, he will always say he wants to enjoy his golden years, but the reality is, anyone who talks to him on the street says he was sick of Sony's shit. And keep in mind, Sony wanted to get Xbox fans to buy PlayStations. And I'm talking the Call of Duty Halo guys they wanted to get. In other words, some of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. Like, Sony ditched Japan for that fan base because they still want to be Microsoft. Why they do, I have no clue. Like, they're like a vengeful company at this point. Which is why I ditched them. I just... Like, I've got a PS2 and I got two PS2s and I got a PS3. Both PS2s were donated to me by my brother. Which, thanks. One of them, I'm gonna mod the bigger one eventually. I might do that on stream. I just gotta look at the process of how to do it. First, I get the hard drive adapter so I can put a hard drive in it. Put a bunch of games on it, and then I put the loader on there and see if I can get that working. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun project. And then, oh shit. And then eventually, I want to get, because my brother also gave me an original Xbox. It's over in the corner. I want to mod that thing too. That sounds like a lot of fun. My brother did it a while ago, but he kind of did it the wrong way a little bit. Actually, you know what? Right there for right now. Oh, wait, no, I needed it. The thing is, like, also, like, you gotta remember, like, the generation that's buying the PS5 right now and the PS4, they're the ones that started with the PS2. And what happened there was they supported Sony no matter what. No, fuck everybody else supports Sony no matter what. They would say that out loud. So Sony hears that, what do they do? They screw them over with the PS3. Made that thing impossible to buy for a while. So now those fans are saying, "Oh, fuck this! I'm gonna go to Xbox." They start doing the same shit there. Support Xbox only. Fuck everybody else. So what happens? Microsoft gets word of that, and what do? They fuck them over with the Xbox One. You can see a pattern there. It's like, get the hint. Stop saying you support a company no matter what. Well, then Sony comes crawling back. They make the PS4. Oh, yeah, we're going to support gamers now. Fuck the other guys. You can share your games and all that other stuff. Yeah, we support all that again. Even though they kind of didn't. There was a thing with that. And so what's going on now? Those Sony fans will not leave Sony ever again. And Sony knows it. And they still keep this whole console war shit going on. What's like, you know, people like me are laughing their ass off at it. I'm like, really? Come on. The only console we're getting right now is the Nintendo Switch, and that's barely even a recommendation right now. Yeah, it's a cycle. A cycle I wish it would fucking end, dude. Like, we didn't have console wars in the 90s. We got along. We didn't care which one you had. Yeah, I got bullied in school. Not a single person gave a fuck about what console I had. They didn't give a fuck. You know what they cared about at the end of the day? Whose house we're going to next? What you got? Sega Genesis? That's cool. We'll go to my house the next day. We'll play Super Nintendo. That was it. That was literally that generation. And then the next one, same thing. You got PlayStation? Okay, I got SD4. We'll play that next time. I got Twisted Metal. Okay, we'll play that today. We'll play Mario Kart tomorrow. But then when you hear that, you start to realize why companies are doing some of this shit. Microsoft's not. Microsoft, they're getting their shit together. They're just sad no one's paying attention. Like Sony, I think, is the one that like hates, you know, people sharing consoles. I think that's one thing they hate. Like, they don't want competition in their scene. You know, and it kind of shows every time they come up with something new. Like, for the most part, they still won't do crossplay with their consoles. You know, some games get around it. Sony does not want crossplay at all. Hell, even Nintendo allows crossplay, and they're the most stubborn company on the planet. Sony won't do it. They're doing it a little bit now, but still, like... Plus, now people are saying, Xbox is going to PlayStation. Xbox lost. I'm like, well, no. They're not selling that many consoles, but the games are selling fine. They're just selling elsewhere. Let me see, was that all of it? That one, okay. Which one was it? This one? There we go. Okay. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think the next Nintendo run is gonna be really, really hard for Nintendo. It's gonna be hard. People are already bitching about the $80 price tag of the games, and my response to them is, are you even gonna buy it? No? Okay, well then don't bitch about it. People want to get ripped off, let them get ripped off. You know, like I always say, the best kind of revenge is regret. That's why I don't talk about consoles a whole lot. I just don't bother. I stay out of it. Like, yeah, I talked about the Switch. And the point really was about the price of the Switch, about the price of everything not coming down, except for PC parts. That's coming down. Those are getting cheaper all the time. I mean, yeah, they might go back up for a while thanks to the tariffs, but... But the problem with like some of these console fans, they started during the PS2 generation. Windows XP sucked. Okay, it was a great operating system, but getting games to run on it half the time was a bitch and a half. It never worked the way it was supposed to. You can have the best GPU ever. If you didn't have the proper drivers, it didn't work. There were no automatic downloads for drivers either. You had to download them manually or install them manually, depending on where you got them. And yeah, it sucked back then. I agree. But it's not that way anymore. Plus, they claim you need like a $3,000 rig to play games on a PC. No, you don't. I mean, it's a $2,000 rig. I don't need much more than that. And true, there's some people don't understand, like, console gaming won't die completely. It'll die for a while. But, you know, when they make consoles worth a damn again, sure. You know, Nintendo's weird right now. Like, with the Switch 2, they're going for PC gaming. By making, like, both Joy-Cons have mouse sensitivity in them. That is interesting. Like, that just proved that PC gaming is, you know, not just the best thing right now, but it's going to be the best thing for a while. So they're looking at where the market's going. And you know what? Call me crazy, but I think it's going to be popular with PC gamers. I don't think it's going to be popular with console gamers at all. Like, obviously, Nintendo fans will buy it anyway, knowing them. You know, that's Nintendo fans. They're kind of like Apple fans. They'll buy anything that's Apple related, even if they get ripped off. Let me see here. Need a ladder. Take that one. I should go up on straight. Yeah, I think Nintendo, like, looking at their strategy, I think they're going for the PC gaming market. So they see all these new PC handhelds coming out, and they're like, we want to compete with that. And you know what? It might put them in a niche market for a while, but it might be a smart one. You know, it's going to be weird. I'll give you that. It's going to be weird. Let me see. What am I missing? Okay, that's done. Missing something. another one. Ah. Oh, shit. Thank you for telling me. I don't know why I started doing that. Thanks. Just not picked up on that. There we go. Cool. And you know what? I think we're done for today. Oh, man. I don't know why. Well, it's an AI camera. Probably why it does that sometimes. It is what it is. You too, bud. Have yourself a good one, okay? Hopefully I'll see you next time. Whenever that is. And thanks everyone else. Hope you had a good time, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Take care.